In this segment, we'll talk about the essentials that an executive really should know about the Loire region in France. And when we say essentials, what we really mean are, what are the grapes in a given region? What's typical from that region? What are the flavors and aromas that one could expect in a glass of wine from that region? How do I pair that wine with food? Let's say if I'm ordering in a client context or if I'm looking to match off the menu. And then finally, what bottles or specific sub-areas are iconic to that region? Which bottles should I really recognize off the list, or if someone were to purchase one? Now, within the Loire, I think there are a few other things that I would bear in mind in terms of important takeaways. And one is that this is the home of Sauvignon Blanc. So now Sauvignon Blanc has made its home in other parts of the world, and very well. But here, a lot of wines, Sauvignon Blanc included, make their roots, trace their roots back to France. So the roots for Sauvignon Blanc are, in fact, in the Loire Valley. Now, more specifically, their roots are in Sancerre and Pouilly-sur-Loire, are two areas where you should associate those with Loire and associate those with Sauvignon Blanc. If you see those listed on a label, in France they label by the region and not by the grape, realize that Sancerre and Pouilly-sur-Loire, these two indicate Sauvignon Blanc, and they're from the area where Sauvignon Blanc was in fact born. Now that area is in France, of course. This is around the Loire River Valley. This is in central western France, as you can see from the map. In this area, Sauvignon Blanc is the grape that I'm going to discuss most today. It's also an area where they grow Chenin Blanc. This is a grape that does well in the Loire. It also does well in South Africa, actually. So the focus here, in particular, if I pick out one key takeaway about the Loire, it would really be around Sauvignon Blanc. So let's talk about Sauvignon Blanc. What can you expect in a Sancerre? Which, of course, as I've mentioned, is Sauvignon Blanc. So someone brings the Sancerre down, brings you a glass. What can you expect to pick up in terms of aroma in that glass? Well, look for grapefruit, lime, passion fruit. Also think about cut grass. People indicate that a lot, and I think it's very accurate. You'll see, you'll pick up almost like lawn clippings or cut grass characteristics in a lot of Sauvignon Blanc. Very distinctive. Sauvignon Blanc is one of my favorite, possibly my favorite white wine, because of that characteristic. Not everyone agrees with that, so just be aware that for some people it can, this can mean different things for different people in terms of the desirability of that. Also note the high acidity. Acidity for a white wine gives it a very crisp flavor, and it makes it food friendly. So this wine does have that characteristic. So when we talk about foods, what foods would pair well with this? Well, of course, white meat, chicken, pork. Fish and shellfish would be perfect. Also think Greek salad, Caesar salad, and fresh herbs would be a very natural pairing, or very herby salad. Also picking up on those herbal notes that are naturally in the bottle or in the glass. In terms of the areas to note, if you're buying one, look for a Sancerre or a Pouilly-sur-Loire. These will be on the label. So wines from these regions will be Sauvignon Blanc driven wines. Or think this way, if someone orders a Sauvignon Blanc or says they would like one, if you were to order one of these, a Sancerre or a Pouilly-sur-Loire, you're really ordering a Sauvignon Blanc. Now, the three things, essentials to boil down from this area, the Loire, would be one, Sauvignon Blanc country. I mentioned also Chenin Blanc, but I really focus on Sauvignon Blanc, just to remember the essentials. Think Sancerre, and look for Sancerre on the label, and Pouilly-sur-Loire. These would be the two areas that would tell you, I'm drinking a Loire, that is a Sauvignon Blanc, and we've discussed the characteristics that a bottle like that would have.